Hey, how you guys doing? This is actually the first time I do a video live on YouTube, but I've been hearing a lot about this whole James Gunn firing situation, and I kind of like want to speak up about it. I have my own opinions about it, like everybody else does, but uh, everybody's stuck in the middle. Some people, some people back James Gunn up, and then some people don't. You know what I mean? Just like you have your liberals, and then you have your conservatives. But we're not gonna get into any political stuff because this is not the reason why I'm doing this video for. But I wanted to get into the whole conversation. So, for those who know, Disney fired James Gunn, which, in my opinion, I don't agree with the decision. I truly don't. Everybody makes mistakes, and I've read some of these tweets that he tweeted out years ago. And take it, it was years ago. It was a long time ago, and we have the right, or we should have the opportunity to redeem ourselves for mistakes that we've done, or anything. We're humans. We should be able to redeem ourselves for our actions, even though sometimes we've hurt other people or even ourselves. In this situation, I don't have the actual tweets with me, so I can't read them to you guys. But you know, I did read some of them, and I can't really quote unquote remember any of it. But he did talk about transgenders, and he did. Some of his tweets are very offensive. Like I'm not gonna lie. When you read them, you're like, wow. Did this actually go through this guy's brain as he was writing this? Did he mean it, or was it a joke, or But then again, I think I think that was like 7 years ago or something like that. And then the source who dug these tweets out, it's actually somebody who's um like a, I don't know, like a partner or something of Donald Trump's party. So the way it's done, it looks as if the person was attacking James Gunn, because James Gunn has been an open voice against Donald Trump and his campaign and his party, you know what I mean, as president. So it looked kind of like a revenge type of an act. And apparently, from what I've heard and the articles I've read, Disney knew about some of those things, some of those tweets from the past before they hired James Gunn. So, they weren't light about some of the things that were going on and some of the things that he had written. But that's what the sources are saying. I don't know. I don't have the actual ability, to get the sources from the real people. But, it sucks. It sucks because, I'm a comic book fan. I believe in redemption, and Disney. If Disney, I feel that Disney should forgive and take them back and just sit down and say, what, we overreacted. We didn't really think about the action that we were going to take upon this. So, we apologize for that. Let's sit down, let's talk about it. Let's see what we could do to better the situation. Or I don't know, man. I feel like they did him wrong. I mean, James Gunn has put his art and his life into these Guardian movies, and I was a huge fan of part one. Part two was a good movie. There was a lot of more talking and action, but it was still a good movie. It wasn't quite better than part one, but it was still good. And I believe that everybody has a chance, get the opportunity to be redeemed, and I think James Gunn should definitely get the opportunity to be redeemed. I mean, hey, sometimes we all say something. We all say things that we regret, and we wish we can go back in time and change what we said, and and blah blah, yada yada yada. I mean, hey, who can sit here and actually cast the first stone? I mean, that's just the reality of it. We can't sit here and judge others about what they've said or what they've done when we ourselves, we need to keep ourselves in check. And it's harder to forgive than what it is to just sit there and talk about the person and judge them. I mean, it's like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is like, the guy. Look, man, He's the president of the United States. Obviously, half the country doesn't agree with him, half the country does, and the country's really divisive. It is what it is, and some people don't like him, so they dig up his past and they bring it into the light, trying to find a way to make him look like he's not good enough and blah blah blah. So it's kind of like the same thing they did with James Gunn. So if we're gonna sit here and defend James Gunn, then why not defend Trump, or why not defend this person or that person? You know what I mean? What's the difference? Because we like James Gunn more as a person than what we do for Trump, and then that's the case of judging. You know what I mean? But regardless of all that, I believe Disney should sit down and really, really get James Gunn back into this deal, because if they don't, they've mentioned a few names: Taika Waititi, the director for Ant-Man. They mentioned a few other directors and stuff. But if Disney does not take James Gunn's back, I believe they should. Taika would be the best bet. If Disney's not planning to make any more Thor movies, since Thor Ragnarok was the third movie in the trilogy, I believe they should hire Taika to take over the Guardians of the Galaxy, because Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor Ragnarok were actually pretty much kind of like the same movie. It was vibrant in colors. The comedy was kind of like the same, and the characters can relate with one another. And we got a taste of that when in Infinity War, when Thor spent time with the Guardians, and he spent more time with Rocket and Groot. So I truly believe, and all these directors did work together to film Infinity War. So I think Taika would be the best bet. But Disney should really sit down, think about it, and rehire James Gunn. I mean, we all make mistakes, man. We all make mistakes, and we all sometimes say something that hurts people. And that person, even when you ask for forgiveness, they might not ever forgive you. But as long as you can find redemption within yourself and you can move on from that, then why not? But I really wanted to voice my opinion on this, because I really think it's unfair the way he's being treated. Now, I don't know. I could be over excessive about this whole darn thing, but if anyone's out there listening or watching and you guys have any opinions or anything to say, I'm wide open for it.